Hey, is this thing on? Let's see. I'll put my phone on. Maybe I can monitor some comments from there. My channel. Let's see. Well, okay. I don't know how to do that. It's time to start. So it says I'm live. It says I'm streaming. I do hope you're hearing me. One more check. This is all like a one-man band stuff. I'm one-man production, so I think I'm recording also. So if for some reason this isn't live, even though I know it says it's live, I can see over on my monitor there, then I'll just post it later. So it's a little after 5 o'clock. It's July 25th. Thank you so much for showing up. This is day 268 of my 365 challenge. I started last November 1st with the goal of just trying to show up every day. And that's it. I used to say it was to show up so that I could achieve whatever this, get more comfortable with that, get more fluent with tools and things. And that's a different thing than to say just to show up. So I'm just showing up. I think in that process, I have noticed some incremental improvements in different areas. One of those not being able to start on time. I haven't started any of my live streams on time. We'll see. Maybe that will improve too. So, let's see. So I promised some songs today from my older singer-songwriter CD, Perfect Strangers. You know, on paper, it looks like I've released one CD over the course of my career. And I guess that's true. There's one that I actually went to the trouble of sending off to a CD manufacturer and all that stuff. But I've got like 6 or 7 albums worth of material that I've recorded and done one-off CDs here and there and sent tracks around. It's not the same as following through. I get it. Truth be told, I never actually followed through on that first CD either, because as soon as it got done, I sort of dropped the ball and retreated back into my hermit kind of lifestyle. But just journal-wise, last year I told myself, screw it. I'm going to give it one more shot before I die. So I've been doing taking some steps to try to put together some consistent promotion, consistent creativity, and man, that's been hit and miss, to be honest. But one thing that's happened over the last 9 months or so, I have showed up every day to create and post music, and for what it's worth, that I take some satisfaction in that. I'm not done, but I don't know, and so much of it is also, old dog, new tricks. So I didn't grow up with computers. You know, when I was in high school, computers were these like cardstock punch cards. And it just seemed like such geekery. There were no personal computers. It was, it seemed very strange to me then. Should have known better, of course. But, you know, like a lot of folks, he's playing some catch-up, using a few tools. Okay, enough of that. Let's play some music. I posted this yesterday, but I just want to start with it today to get rolling. You pave paradise and put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? You pave paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees and they put them in a tree museum. And they charged all the people $1.50 just to see 'em. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? You pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away that DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, but leave me the birds and the bees now. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? You pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night I heard the screen door slam. That's when the big yellow taxi come and took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? You pave paradise, put up a parking lot. You pave paradise, put up a parking lot. You pave paradise just to put up a parking lot. The big yellow taxi. One of the first Joni tunes I ever heard. Yeah. So let's see. Let me jump right into this. I like this tune. This is But for the Likes of Linda Barry, which I misspelled, I think, on my album, Linda L with a Y, Linda with a Y. Linda Barry, the graphic novelist, educator, journalist, and comic illustrator. Author of a comic? What do you call that? I guess it'd be an author, a comics author. So her strip Ernie Pook's Comique really resonated with me a long time ago. And on the recommendation of one of my friends and followers and cookie consumers now, Sean, I picked up a copy of her graphic novel Cruddy, and I'm looking forward to getting into that. I've been warned it's not a bright, happy picture all the way through, but that's kind of Linda Barry. Yeah. The world I watch before me, playing out in black and white. Little bits of history just dancing in the light. We laugh at truth and sorrow and smile at moments bright. But for the likes of Linda Barry, sometimes I think I might. Zippy is my hero, and Calvin cuts me loose. Batman watches over us as we rehearse our blues. Sadder than Superman, who loves in his disguise, and with every little tenderness I'll die. Heaven help us, everyone. These dark days need the sun. Paradise has come undone. Heaven help us, everyone. Page one, playing master to the sycophants of hype. Desire for disaster whets our shameless appetites. But buried deep within our stories, drawn to soothe our fright. But for the likes of Linda Barry, sometimes I think I might. Zippy is my hero, and Calvin cuts me loose. Batman watches over us as we rehearse our blues. Sadder than Superman, who loves in his disguise, and with every little tenderness I'll cry. Heaven help us, everyone. These dark days need the sun. Paradise has come undone. Heaven help us, everyone. Magnolia hearts clinging tight to strips of irony. Lines of laughter-laden boxcars roll on tirelessly through barren backward sidings where crosses burn at night. But for the likes of Linda Barry, sometimes I think I might. Zippy is my hero, and Calvin cuts me loose. Batman watches over us as we rehearse our blues. Sadder than Superman, who loves in his disguise, and with every little tenderness I'll try. Heaven help us, everyone. These dark days need the sun. Paradise has come undone. Heaven help us, everyone. Yeah, but for the likes of Linda Barry. The comics, that's where the fun is. I was saying before, even like Gary Trudeau, whose comics, they're not like jokes so much. What are they? Wry, askew observations of current events. Humor, it's a cool thing. Here's a tune from my Perfect Strangers album, that CD. I wrote this while I was in Portland. I used to ride the train a lot, the light rail. And you just see some things. This is also actually, it draws from some of my journaling when I sit in coffee shops in Northwest. Faces on the train. On the train I scan the faces of the children stained with fear, a teenage mom so cavalier with cruelty, of the feral and the fretting, of the face that bites its nails, counting the clock of wheels on rails, today's obsession, of the frumpy heavy girls, boisterous and unkempt, branded by abuse with their fury and contempt. Now it's their turn, and woe to the sassy or the weak, as they turn from surly to nasty when their fury hits a peak. Of the middle-aged and matronly, whose sour looks suggest an odious request or hidden excrement, of the mad dog happy drunks, loud with the laughs or sneers, derelicts smeared with their epiphanies, of the punks and violence junkies, jittery and proud, the painted torsos courting the attentions of the crowd, while their dark-eyed urchin waifs hang strung out on their sleeves, hollow-cheeked and helpless in the shadows of disease. And the furrow-browed businessmen and clip-curled clerks clutch the bags and briefcases like shields against the world. On the train I scan the faces of the pierced and motley youth. They just found out the truth is up for auction. As they scribble in their diaries in Puer's passion heat, these millinery beats with hormones flaring, as the schizophrenic sages rant into the air. With feigned indifference, sober writers fight the urge to stare, and the furrow-browed businessmen and clip-curled clerks read their romance novels, and they tally up their perks, and they clutch their bags and briefcases like shields against the world. Shields against the world. On the train I scan the faces of the children stained with fear, the teenage moms so cavalier with cruelty. Portland. Portland train, on the train. Let's see, here's a single I released last year. And yeah, it's based on what is it based on? I'm drawing a blank. It's based on a Buddhist practice called taking and giving. And I'm drawing a blank. I can't get into the tune. I just shedded it earlier. One of those things, it'll come back to me. There it is. My goodness. I will save you, but I can't save you. I will heal you, but I can't heal you. But I can hold you and feed you today, love you right now, take your loneliness away. You can save me, can't save me. You can heal me, but you can't heal me. Just hold me and feed me today. Love me right now. Take this loneliness away. I'll take all your sorrow and pay you with kisses. Not wait till tomorrow for what your soul misses. I'm giving you love and kindness to start with. Your deepest desire to gladden your heart with. Take all your sorrow, pay you with kisses. Not wait till tomorrow for what your soul misses. I'm giving you love and kindness to start with. Your deepest desire to gladden your heart with. I might need you, but I can't need you. I might want you, and if I want you, then I can love you and feed you today. Hold you right now. Take your loneliness away. Taking and giving. From the Buddhist practice of the same name, in which we visualize ourselves taking the suffering of others, transforming it, giving them all peace, all happiness. This was written around the same time as all those other Perfect Strangers tunes. This one's actually called Perfect Strangers. True story. Have the names been changed to protect the innocent? I don't know, it doesn't matter. This is 45 years ago, so who cares? Water under the bridge. Anyway, process. I think I've worked through most of this stuff myself, but for anybody out there still hanging on to this stuff, or anybody just going through this stuff for the first time, hearts out to you. I learned a kiss from a boy named Mark beneath the moon and stars. We drive around at night and park. Thank God we had our cars to steal our furtive love out near the fields and farms. We'd leave our fear behind and and share such tender charms and tremble in each other's secret arms. We never spoke of our starry nights, not ever to our friends, and I had a little doubt about wrong and right when we planned to meet again, to share the common hunger of our hearts and souls. When the moon above us smiled and the constellations rose, we shared those things that every lover knows. We were perfect strangers by light of day, frightened of a little word that so easily brushed away. A tiny yearning flame hidden in my heart, our parts we played in games of perfect strangers. I learned to kiss from a boy named Mark, but we never kissed at school. We didn't court and we didn't spark and we didn't break the rules. One night when I cried out, I love you best of all, I saw his eyes grow wide, and then I watched his heart grow small, and it wasn't long before he never called. While all the boys and girls were dancing to the bands, my heart was aching knowing he would never hold my hand. While we were perfect strangers by light of day, frightened of a little word so easily brushed away. A tiny yearning flame buried in my heart. By day we played the game of perfect strangers. But anytime we hung out with the squares, we kept our feelings hidden for a love that wouldn't dare. We were perfect strangers by light of day, so easily brushed away. A tiny yearning flame burning in my heart. At times we played those games of perfect strangers. The wind blew warm on a summer night as I lay out with my friend. I learned some things as he held me tight that I prayed would never end. But to say I love you sometimes means a closing door. When passion's not enough and a heart needs something more, and a bridge can burn that wasn't there before. When you're perfect strangers, frightened of a little word that's so easily brushed away. A tiny yearning flame glowing in my heart. Times we play these games of perfect strangers. Oh, the subterfuge, the hiding. I'm so psyched, inspired, I guess, encouraged to see more people, young people, who are just comfortable with who they are. And they're, when I was growing up, there's no like gay straight alliance or anything like that. It was all just like hostility and fear and homophobia and pretty wild. Pretty, not wild. Wild's not the right word. It was tough for a lot of people to navigate, but hopefully one step forward and some steps back. But one step forward, two steps back. No, that's not the way. Two steps forward, one step, whatever. We're working on it. It boggles my mind. In any other area, it would be outrageous, unheard of, to pass laws directly targeting a group of people. Laws directly targeting a group of people in our country. There are laws that directly target groups of people in our country, except it's not overt, it's covert. It comes through voter suppression and things like that, redistricting and so forth, changing guidelines. But for LGBT people, there are still legislators actively passing laws to discriminate against LGBT folks. Why is it still okay to bag on LGBT people? I don't get it. Oh well. Everybody needs, I don't know what everybody needs. I used to live in a little town up in the mountains in southern Colorado. It was cool. There was at that time, between 200 and 300 year-round residents. Went up another 100 or so in the summer, where we get the snowbirds. And anyway, it was 7/10 of a mile long on the highway, nestled between a bunch of mountain peaks, up at about 8,000 plus feet. And there was something like 7 places in town where you could get a drink, and 1 place in town where you could buy a loaf of bread. The gas station when it was open. There was a couple of liquor stores. No law enforcement. 1 day a week he'd come up and do a little code enforcement, follow up on some mayhem, but for the most part, fairly idyllic. But we did have a theater cafe, the Rico Theater Cafe. And it was hosted much of the time by Diane, who's amazing. And she's one of those kind of people that, she'd greet everybody. We had a lot of tourists coming there. We're on like the only highway through that part of the world. So we get folks from all over the world, all over the U.S., but all over the world coming through, vacationing in the scenic Rockies. And, within like 2 or 3 minutes, she's their best friend. It's amazing. She's amazing hospitality skills. Anyway, what folks would do is they would send her these postcards from back home. And she would take them, and they would just address them to like Diane Rico and put the zip code on there. We had a post office, 80631. And she'd get them. They'd make it over to her at the cafe, and she'd put them on the wall behind the bar. And there was hundreds of postcards from all over the world. Hi, Diane, it was so nice to meet you. You made our stay special, all that kind of stuff. So I was sitting at the bar, as I did back then, kind of being burnt out on the mayhem, you know, all the news. This was right after 9/11. And so all the news is bad news. Not just the regular all the news is bad news, but all the news is like genuinely bad news. It's just everybody's all scared. And I'd been, you know, reading too many magazines, and the New Yorker and all Atlantic and all these magazines with these great essays about all the craziness. And it's, regardless of how well written it is, it's still all about the craziness. So I just thought, screw it, I'm just going to read Diane's postcards from now on, and got the idea for this tune. I threw the morning paper on the floor. I just can't stand to read about another dirty war, for nothing more than politics and a politician's greed. The postcards from Diane, they're all I'll ever read. They quench my thirst for knowledge. No one ever bleeds unless the kids have bumped their heads or skinned their rough house knees. I cursed, I tossed my cursed TV in the brush. I showed the broken bodies when the students' dreams were crushed beneath the tanks for asking more than crusty bread and such. Postcards from Diane, they're all I'll ever touch. Postcards from Diane, I'll tell you what they're worth. They remind me of a simpler world where no one ever hurts except broken hearts and accidents or mothers giving birth. I put my magazines in a big brown box. The poetry of horror has brought me close to shock, and now I'm wondering in futility just what the suffering's for. Postcards from Diane and nothing more. Postcards from Diane, they're all I'll ever read. When the only battles raging are with Dennis and the weeds, and the only Hi, I'm back. Thanks. Thanks for joining me. I was trying to, I have this stream deck. I'm looking to see if we got comments here. No, I'm live though. It says I'm live. I'm seeing it. Yep. Live chat. There's 2 live chats, yay. Whoops. There's a little lag time there, but cool. So anyway, I got this tiny little micro stream deck, and it's just, you hit a button and then a card comes up and this kind of stuff. Here, let me show you. A banner like that one, paypal.me/Steve Snelling. I'm still working these tools out. I know you can't see me right now, so. So anyway, so I hit the button to do a intermission, and it stopped the stream. I don't know why it did that. Anyway, I need a little intermission there. So let's see. Here's a tune I'm trying to get released. I sent this a saxophone engineer, amazing saxophone player, old friend of mine, agreed to lay down a track for me on it, and but I guess between the COVID stuff and maybe retreating to Canada for a while or something, I don't know. I haven't heard back from him. I hope everything is well, but I want to release this tune. It's so close to being ready to go. And I think if he can get to it and mix it for me, I have my buddy Mark at Mark Fuller Mastering, by the way, does an excellent job, who's ready to put the final sprinkles on it, and and then I'll release this new single. So anyway, this is the Farallons. It's after all the stuff we go through, it's just it's always one day at a time. So I've developed a new sort of life motto when things start getting crazy or feeling crazy, and we're really up against it. And with the understanding that everything we see is illusory, not to take an extreme view, but when things look like they're genuinely screwed for us, one thing that can get us through is, it's 2 parts. One is don't freak out. Just don't freak out. That doesn't mean don't be anxious. We're anxious. Okay, we'll accept that. We practice some acceptance. Don't freak out and stay in the game. Stay in the game. If you can do those 2 things, then you got a shot at working it out. It's going to work out one way or another. Hopefully it works out with us happy and healthy and being used to those around us. I bought these LED lights and they're doing a funny flickering thing. Oh well, I'm going to have to deal with it. This is called the Farallons. Standing in the rain out in the parking lot, I feel like I'm a million miles from you. Afraid I'll never get there. After all the miles and all the pain I dragged you through. Maybe there's forgiveness in this ritual, riding in the gray and drizzling morn. Remembering that moment when I met the dark that always seems to come with dawn. Beware the darkness in the morning. It snarls at love and hope to just move on. To make believe the sun was never shining. That's against the demons, hippest calm. I thought I might just swim out to the Farallones, out beyond the surf so far from shore. You begged me not to go there, so it remains a place I've never been before. I pray for creatures stranded by the rising tide. I pray for all these seals washed on the shore. Maybe they were swimming from the Farallones when called by cold steel cargo ships to take their final bow and swim no more. I promised I'd not go beyond the shallows, nor blithely follow crows into the clouds. I weave these melodies to free us, not to be our bare shroud. Maybe there's forgiveness in this ritual, riding in the gray and drizzling morn, divining incantations for this wounded child, and walk you through the dark that seems to always come with dawn. I'll hold you through the darkness of the morning. The Farallones. Don't freak out. Stay in the game. Now for something a little lighter. A little lighter and yet a little darker. Not really. So, before I moved into the mountains, I was living out in the plains in northern Colorado. Reality, where I met so many fine people. I'm not kidding. Some really good folks, gems. Amazing musicians. I'm flashing back. I went out there to go to grad school. I did a master's degree. I'm not a real doctor. I have a master's degree in music, in piano, actually, piano performance. And one thing that amazed me was how many musicians I ran into who were so on fire to just practice and shed and get great and get really good. And just this love of music and the dedication to excellence, And I have to say, particularly in like the percussion brass area, I'm not going to pull any punches here. Some of those instructors were dicks. They were just redneck dicks. I would listen to these guys talk. I'm like, do you hear what's coming out of your mouth? You really think it's okay to treat people like that? Whatever. That was a long time ago. But, man, the wind ensemble there was outstanding. Just blew my mind. I was hearing music I'd never heard before. And so many people just going for it. And, I met the Vigilantes out there and got my mind blown, and we made a lot of music. A lot of really good music. Anyway, not to wax reminiscent too much, but meat packing was like major industry out there. Sugar beets, feedlots. God, I tell you, sometimes in the winter when those aromas would crystallize in the air, it would knock you over. And in the summer, they would fertilize all the lawns around the campus with sheep shit. So sometimes all three of those aromas they conspired together. And woo, your eyes would water, man. Your nose would burn. It's crazy. But along around this time, also, Colorado had its problems, and what was it, Prop 2, I think, at that time, came out forbidding any municipalities or organizations from passing laws to protect LGBTQ, XYZ, whatever people. And with the support of the churches and mega churches and these religious bigots. And so I developed this musical alter ego at the time, Dirk Gailey, G-A-E-L-E, rhymes with daily. And we did one show. Glenn Taylor played steel, some amazing pedal steel on it. Jeff Mintz was in the band. Dave Reed, I think, was playing acoustic guitar, and Spencer was playing bass. And Issa sang some vocals with us too, I'm pretty sure. And God, the whole period of my life was such a blur. But anyway, it was fun. We did one show. And so Dirk, my gay country Christian alter ego, was sticking it in the face of whatever. Of the whatever. So this is one of the tunes I wrote then. This is called I'll Do Anything. And just, these guys are still around. They're thumping their Bible and saying, give me money. Give me money. I love that George Carlin thing, and he wraps it up by saying, but God loves you, and he needs money. Like, oh my God. It's not a God thing. It's a human greed thing. So, anyway, greed and intolerance. Yay! For some people, that's just their running code. That's their North Star. I'll do anything. How many books can you burn while you're thumping your Bible? How many souls will you save with your diamond ring? Heaven help me pay the price. I'll even pay my penance twice. Leave me with but one good vice. Anything. I'll do anything. How many sheets did you wash at your latest revival? How much higher are flames from a cross soaked in kerosene? Heaven help me pay the price. Tell me who to sacrifice, but leave me with but one good vice. I'll do anything. Anything. Heaven, I made my own bed of nails, and only too happy to lie there if I can get a good percentage of the TV sales. How many babies were saved in your bombing revival? Did the Sunday tithe cover the note on your limousine? Heaven help me pay the price. Tell me who to sacrifice. Just pave the road to paradise. I'll do anything. 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 My hands are yours to be bled on. Just give me a logo like Christ on a flag. I'll wear it into Armageddon. He's got a heart on for Armageddon. Heaven help me pay the price. Tell me who to sacrifice, but leave me with what one good vice. I'll even give up sex with ice if heaven helps me pay the price. I'll even say my penance twice. Just pave the road to paradise. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Anything. They will do anything. Anointing those bombing abortion clinics, Planned Parenthood, It does a heck of a lot more than abortion planning, let me tell you. Craziness, the insanity, the disconnect, the hypocrisy. Ah, what a world, what a world. Okay, hey, that's a whole lot of tunes. I think I'm going to let you go. I got a message on my screen. Let me check this out. Hold on. Okay, it's like I got an error. It looks like it stopped there for a while. Well, I hope you heard that tune. I'm not going to do it again. I'll do it in a post. I don't know how much of that you missed. Does anyone tell me? Here's some chats. Oh, I see a heart. 603. Okay, so looks like somebody was listening. So I don't know. I lost my stream there for a little bit. It looks like, but I'm back. So yay. So there's some melancholy in that music. Mea culpa. But I know. Remember, I was thinking, can't you write any nice songs? I'm like, yeah. Can you write any happy songs? Yeah, I got your happy song. So let me close with this. This is called "Then I'll Be Happy." I've performed this for several years, but it's not actually officially released. I did some piano tracks to it, and when I get my new mic coming soon, then, well, who knows, whenever they ship the darn thing from Vienna, then I'll lay down a vocal for it. I mean, I love my little Shure Beta 58. It's great, especially for live stuff. I could record with it too. I've got a couple of decent condensers, but I treated myself to a nice mic. And we'll see when it gets here. Okay. Then I'll be happy. How does this start? Well, I don't live on the street. You know I get enough to eat. In truth, it's hard not to get a little fat. But my pot is kinda small. Got no artwork on the wall. It's not much more than a place to hang my hat. I want some grass of a different hue. All my Subarus have been used. It's getting harder all the time to find a date. I mean, what's wrong with a brand new car or a boyfriend movie star instead of 69 new ways to meditate? One day all good things will come my way. Till that day I'll have to say, then I'll be happy. When my ship comes in, I'll be happy. Just watch my life begin. Just being me is not enough. How can I be happy when there's all that shiny stuff? One day I'll fall in love with all I see. That'll be the day I'll be happy. I'll tour. Seems all I do is play in bars. You know I ought to be a star. with a limo just to take me to the show. I mean, I'm glad to have a gig, but it ain't enough, you dig, without groupies and an entourage in tow. I'm gonna lose my white trash roots. I'll only wear Armani suits, be signing autographs everywhere I go. I'll be front page Billboard news, selling out the big venues, play the White House VSOP SRO. Why do I keep having dreams? There's more to life than what it seems. One day all good things will come my way. Until that day I'll have to say, then I'll be happy. When my ship comes in, I'll be happy. Watch my life begin. Just being me is not enough. How can I be happy when I need more shiny stuff? One day I'll fall in love with all I see. That'll be the day I'm gonna be happy. When my ship comes in, when I get all that I can get. How can I be happy when there's all that shiny shit? One day I'll fall in love with all I see. That'll be the day. And no, I think that'll be the day I am gonna be happy. When my ship comes in, happy, 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 happy all the time. Happy. And then I'll be happy. So thanks for joining me. Looks like I'm still streaming. Oh my gosh, I'm going to figure that out. I was going to get my computer, my late 2015, first world problems time. Don't cry for me, Argentina. My late 2015 iMac, one of those iMacs in that golden, and by golden I mean dark hellhole of frustration, window in which memory, RAM, was soldered to the motherboard, and the configuration of the connecting pins for the hard drive makes it really challenging to kind of swap out the hard drive to put like an SSD in or something. So, and it's becoming, it's old, you know, it's 2000, this is 5 years later, which is, you know, geologic time periods in the computer world. So I'm not going to like spend Apple prices for a new like computer with an SSD and a big amount of RAM and a rocket and whatever processor and all that kind of stuff and a bigger screen, because that gets spendy, like $4,000 or $5,000 for a decent computer like that. So I'm getting a refurbished iMac that's got what I need: screaming fast, solid state drive, tons of RAM, 27-inch screen, for a fraction of the cost of new. Yeah, shopping around, you know what I'm saying? So that's coming soon, and then I hopefully won't be having all these like glitchy software problems. Things just don't want to talk to each other, and the spinning beach ball of hell. You know what I'm talking about if you're a Mac person. Things hang. They just hang. It's trying to do too much stuff in the background. So anyway, trying to keep up. It's trying to keep up. So that was a meaningless diversion and aside. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much. Thanks for Nancy and Sean hanging in there. You guys rock. Oh, good. You did hear that song. Thank you so much. And thanks for the other folks. I don't see other folks on board here. But let me know what you want to hear for 365 Challenge. Plenty of days left in the year. I'm going to keep doing this, keep shedding. So next summer, when things open up, or the world is melted down, and we'll all be dead anyway, but next summer, when things open up and festivals start happening again, I can be performing live and be ready for it with some singles released and some time under my belt in front of the camera and behind the mic. And there's a whole thing. I have to envision that I'm playing live in front of people that changes the dynamic completely. Internally, for me. It's even different. I got to find a way to track these comments in real time so that it gives me more of that connection, because it's just such a different experience for me when I know people are listening. And when there's some real-time give and take energetically, because that stuff's real. Okay. Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow with another post in my 365 challenge. And until then, have a beautiful day, beautiful evening. Bye-bye for now.